Hi, boys and girls. Today I'm going to read from the book that we've been reading together, which is Beezus and Ramona. I'm sorry to say that it seems like it's going to be a little bit before we're going to be together. And I want us to find out what happened with Beezus and Ramona and what they do. Right now, I'm sitting in my kitchen, and so just want us to be able to get together. The chapter's kind of long, so I'm just going to read it for about 15 minutes, and so hopefully you'll be able to read it or to listen as I read. I'll show you the pictures and we'll kind of talk about it as I am going through. So at the end of the story, remember that Ramona had been in the basement, had eaten apples, taken one bite and thrown the rest of it away, and that they decided they weren't going to say anything to her, which really bothered Ramona a lot. And then Beezus, Ramona came and asked her to read for her, and so then this is at the end of that chapter. It says, Ramona say, I'm trying to like her like I'm supposed to anyhow, Beezus thought. And I do like her more than I did this afternoon when I found her in the basement. But what on earth will Mother ever do with all that applesauce? Because remember, her mom made, because of all the apples that Ramona had eaten, she ended up having to make lots of applesauce. So I can imagine that it's everywhere. So we're on chapter 5, which is a party at the Quimby's. Saturday morning turned out to be cold and rainy, just like today, actually. Beezus wiped the breakfast dishes for her mother and listened to Ramona, who was riding her tricycle around the house singing, Copycat, Cappycot, 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 over and over at the top of her voice, because she liked the sound of the words. Beezus and her mother finished the dishes and went into the bedroom to put clean sheets on the beds. Copycat, Cappycot, droned Ramona's sing-song. Ramona, why don't you sing something else? Mother asked at last. We've been listening to that for a long time. If you have brothers and sisters that might be something that happens to you, where they talk and talk and talk, or they sing, or they do stuff, and mom has to say something to them about it. Okay, agreed Ramona. I'm going to have a party, she sang. I'm going to have a party. Thank you, Ramona. That's better. Mother held one end of a pillow under her chin while she slipped the other end to a fresh case. You know, that reminds me, she said to Beezus. What would you like to do to celebrate your birthday next week? Beezus thought a minute. Well, I'd like to have Aunt Beatrice over for dinner. She hasn't been here for such a long time, and I'd like to have a birthday cake with pink frosting. Beezus smoothed a fresh sheet over the bed. She almost enjoyed helping Mother when she could talk without Ramona's interrupting all the time. And again, another text to self-connection. If you have a younger brother or sister, and sometimes that happens, where they're interrupting you all the time. The rain beating on the windows and Ramona's happy sing-song made the day seem cozy and peaceful. All right, that's exactly what we'll do. Mother seemed really pleased with Beezus' suggestions. It's a long time since we've seen Aunt Beatrice, but of course, teachers always have a lot to do when school starts. Beezus noticed that Mother gave a little sigh as she smoothed her side of the sheet. She'll probably have more time now that the semester has started, and it really isn't long before Thanksgiving and Christmas vacations. We'll see her a lot then. Why, Mother misses Aunt Beatrice too, thought Beezus. I believe she misses her as much as I do, even though she never says so. Leaving Beezus with the new and surprising thought that grown-ups sometimes missed each other, Mother gathered up the sheets and pillowcases that had been removed from the beds and carried them to the basement. While she was downstairs, the telephone rang. Answer it, will you, Beezus? Mother called. When Beezus picked up the telephone, a hurried voice said, This is Mrs. Kemp. Do you mind if I leave Will and Jean when I bring Howie over this afternoon? Just a minute, I'll ask Mother. Beezus called down the basement stairs, repeating the question. Why, no, I guess not, Mother replied. Mother says it's all right, Beezus said into the telephone. Thank you, said Mrs. Kemp. Now, Howie, stop banging. Have a chance to do some shopping. Well, thought Beezus when she hung up Things won't be quiet around here much longer. Howie, who was in Ramona's class at nursery school, was the noisiest little boy she knew, and he and Ramona often quarreled. So when we talk about quarreled, that means they are, what do you think about it? Means they're fighting with each other. And when they say nursery school, that's another name for like preschool. Okay. Willa Jean was at an awkward age, too big to be a baby and not big enough to be out of diapers, probably around 2, I would think. You know, said Mother, when she came up from the basement, I don't remember telling Mrs. Kemp that Howie could come over this afternoon, but maybe I did. I've had so much on my mind lately trying to get the nursery school rummage sale organized. A rummage sale is like a garage sale. So in my head right now, I'm thinking, okay, why would Mrs. Kemp be dropping off Howie? Do you remember what Ramona said a while ago? Let's see what's going to happen. Because we know Ramona doesn't do the right thing. So let's see. After an early lunch, Mother decided there would be enough time to wash everybody's hair before Howie and Willa Jean arrived. She put on her oldest dress because Ramona always squirmed and got soap all over her. Then she stood Ramona on a chair, made her lean over the kitchen sink, and went to work. This is a text to cell connection for me. I can remember as a kid, my mom used to wash my hair in the sink. And I had to, when I had to wash my kids' hair, sometimes we also did it in the sink. I wonder if you guys do that your parents sometimes wash your hair in the sink. You have to stand on a stool and maybe lean over into the sink. Sometimes I had to do that. Then she stood Ramona on the chair and made her lean over the kitchen sink and went to work. Ramona howled, that means she's crying, as she always did when her hair was washed. Do you cry when your hair is washed? I don't. I actually like it. When Mother finished, she rubbed Ramona's hair with a bath towel, turned up the furnace thermostat so the house would be extra warm, and gave Ramona 2 graham crackers to make up for the indignity of having her hair washed. That means like the bad thing that she did to her. Then Beezus stepped onto the stool and bent over the sink for her turn. After Mother had washed her own hair and before she went into the bathroom to put it up in pin curls, oh my goodness gracious, that tells you how old this book is, she said to Beezus, would you mind getting out the vacuum cleaner and picking up those graham cracker crumbs Ramona spilled on the rug? So in the olden days, and this could probably your grandmas would know this, that used to be before they had curling irons for hair, you had to put them in rollers, or you had to take it and you turned it and you put bobby pins in it. It was how people made their hair curly. Beezus did not mind. She rather liked running the vacuum cleaner if her mother didn't make a regular chore of it. I'm going to have a pause